What's going on, sports fans? JD here at JD Sports Talk, and in today's video we are going to discuss the new acquisitions of the New York Knicks. We're going to get into Myles Turner. Is Myles Turner a missing piece to this Knicks roster, or should the New York Knicks stay the course? If this is your first time here, I invite you to watch the video, and after you finish watching the video, if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. And if you do, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are notified every single time that I drop a video. Also, very quick announcement, my next video on this channel will be on the New York Football Giants, and it will be with the entertainer Talking Sports. So I'm excited to do that video on the New York Giants. So also, if you are a Giants fan, please consider subscribing for that content. I'll have that video up next on the JD Sports Talk channel. So let's get right to it. Let's go with Kemba Walker here as he heads home to the New York Knicks to play at Madison Square Garden, originally from the Bronx. So I know he's excited to go home. He's 31 years old, 6 foot, 184 pounds. And, you know, there's a lot of concerns about the knee. There's a lot of talk about the knee. People have compared it to what Allen Houston dealt with, here with the New York Knicks. And Kemba understands the moment. Kemba himself said that it's been a while since he had this much time, so he is motivated to get himself right. And it is my belief, in my opinion, that if Kemba Walker proves himself available, Tom Thibodeau will play him and will play him a lot. And I know that may sound like a surprise to some, but you just have to look at the way that Tom Thibodeau managed the team last year, right? Look at Derrick Rose. A lot of people felt he should have managed Derrick Rose, yet he gave Rose a lot of minutes. And so I think he'll do the same with Kemba. Will they manage some of the games, the second game of a back-to-back, in those situations? That is remained to be seen. But if Kemba's available, Kemba's gonna play. And all you have to do is see it right in front of you. He averaged almost 32 minutes per game last season. In his last 12 games, he averaged 33 minutes. So it ticked up a little bit. So I think with Thibodeau, who, put Nerlens Noel through a 4 or 5 game stretch of averaging almost 38, 39 minutes per game, Kemba's going to be a very important player for the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau is coaching to win. There's expectations for the Knicks going into year 2 of Tom Thibodeau's tenure. So I don't know that Tom Thibodeau is really interested in playing Kemba 20 to 24 minutes. If Kemba's healthy, Kemba, in my opinion, is going to play 30 minutes per game. And, if you look at his history prior to the last 2 seasons where he's dealt with his knee injury, Kemba has played 6 seasons of 70 plus games, 4 seasons of 80 plus games. So I'm not concerned about Kemba's injuries around the knee. The biggest concern is this current injury, but it's not injury prone in the sense that he is always hurt in other areas of his body. Right now, he has to get his knee right. So the Knicks are getting a solid 3-point shooter. The Knicks are getting a attacker of the basket, and that all fits Tom Thibodeau's system. And as you guys see, there are charges drawn. I highlighted that because a lot have been said about Kemba Walker's defense, and the Knicks are going to take a hit defensively. And I think the way to counter that is Kemba sacrifices his body. I know Kyle Lowry gets a lot of credit for that, but Kemba Walker is very underrated in that aspect. If you look at his last 5 years, he's ranked 1st, 7th, 3rd, and 3rd in charges taken. And that is going to give your teams extra possessions, and he is going to be able to counter some of, maybe weak defensive possessions with, sacrificing his body, getting the charge. And if you guys all see with playoff basketball, sometimes it's the little plays at key moments that turn some of these games around. And I think Kemba Walker, having a high basketball IQ, willing to sacrifice his body at key moments of the game, will prove to be very critical for the New York Knicks. So I think that's very important, as well as the Knicks signing of Nerlens Noel with the hope of Mitchell Robinson's health, or if they get Myles Turner, you have 48 minutes of rim protection, of shot blocking, and that will help counter the defensive deficiencies of a Kemba Walker or Evan Fournier, because you'll have someone at the rim ready to protect the rim. So I think it's an excellent addition. I wanted to point out the charges because I think it's an underrated aspect that hasn't been talked about enough. And I'm excited for Kemba Walker to be a New York Knick, and I can't wait. I hope he gets his knee right. But if he's available, I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play a lot. So let's go now to Evan Fournier with the New York Knicks. The Knicks are getting a 28-year-old 6'7", 205 guard / wing. And as you guys see there, Evan Fournier averaged 17 points, 3 rebounds, 1 full steal per game. And I highlighted the steal because a lot of people, again, have talked about his defense from Reggie Bullock in terms of being a step back. And why I do agree that the Knicks are taking a step back defensively as compared to Reggie Bullock, Evan Fournier does give maximum effort on that side of the floor. And, with 1 full steal, it kind of shows, it validates that he gives you the effort. And Tom Thibodeau, I think, will be able to help him get a little bit better. I don't think he'll be great. I don't think he'll become elite, but I do think he'll be a little bit better and sound, playing with a coach that emphasizes defense. And again, with having the rim protection behind him, it'll also help with some of the deficiencies that the Knicks are going to face there. But what you are going to get is you're going to get 3-point efficiency. You have a crafty player. When you see him on TV, he doesn't jump out at you. The athleticism does not jump out, but kind of like Paul Pierce, he finds a way to get to certain spots on the floor, and he's able to get the shots that he wants. And he's fearless coming to the Garden. He's a fearless player. He's a passionate player. And we all saw the heated argument between him and Kevin Durant in the playoffs. I'm sure that's a sight that New York Knicks fans will welcome, especially that competitive attitude, being fearless, not afraid to get in the face of some of the top NBA players in the league. And I wanted to point out the corner 3, which goes to his 3-point efficiency. You're not only getting a 41% 3-point shooter, you're getting a deadly corner 3-point shooter. And in Tom Thibodeau's system, this is one of the areas in the court that Tom Thibodeau, emphasizes. Reggie Bullock saw a considerable jump in his corner 3-point efficiency under Tom Thibodeau's system, and that helped him get paid along with his defense. But, I know that this is something that Evan Fournier will welcome here, with the New York Knicks. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to hit some of those corner threes. If you guys see there, almost 56%, 52%, 40%, 46%. That is what you call consistency. And I think that consistency will sustain here with the New York Knicks, if not even jump higher. So it's something for Knicks fans to pay attention to. You're getting a very, very, very efficient shooter in the corner spots of the 3-point line. So, the contract is 4 years as of now. The full details haven't been reported, but from what we know is that it's 3 years guaranteed, and the 4th year is a team option. So let's see what happens. Evan Fournier will be a starter, and this is another shooter to surround, Julius Randle. Kemba Walker can hit the 3. Evan Fournier can hit the 3. So now we're talking here in terms of offensively for Julius Randle. So let's get into Myles Turner. Are the Knicks, well, we know from reports the Knicks have been pushing very hard for Myles Turner. Reports say that they're very interested, that they tried to get him in certain times this offseason, but the Indiana Pacers are not budging as of now. And why would they? As you guys see there, this is a guy that has 2 years left at $18 million per year. So at 25 years old, that is considered a very, considered a very good contract, especially the way some of these guys got paid this offseason. However, he only played 47 games last season. He is 25. He's almost 7 feet, 6'11", 250 pounds. Averaged 12 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 blocks, which was first in the NBA. Shot a 33% from 3. But as you guys see there, from the center 3, which is the middle, right behind the key, that middle spot, He shot 37% last season. And for his career, he's shooting almost 39% from that area. And the reason I highlight that spot is because if Myles Turner were to become a New York Knick with Kemba Walker, with Derrick Rose, a centers, that's one of the main spots that they like, especially when they're setting the pick and roll. They're picking and popping to that spot. That's the longest three, on the court. And if you have a center like Myles Turner that can shoot it at a 37 to 39% clip, that is a deadly play, especially when you have, players like Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, Quickly, McBride, some of these players that can be effective. That only, helps your team. So that is one of the reasons why Myles Turner is such an attractive option for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks don't have offensive production in that position currently with Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel, and he's a good free throw shooter. So you're adding a better free throw shooter, you add an increased shooting at that spot, and which would organically open up more spacing. And I highlight blocks here because, when you talk about rim protection with Nerlens Noel and Mitch Robinson, you're not downgrading with Myles Turner. You're actually upgrading, as he's been ranked first, fifth, first, sixth, fifth. So top 5 basically almost every year. And, at his size and his strength, you're getting stronger. You're adding more shot blocking, so you're not losing there. You're picking up a little bit offensively. Now the rebounding, he's not a strong rebounder. Is he a Brook Lopez where, he's just a good shooter at the position, but just not a strong rebounder? And I know that maybe because he's more away from the basket, he's not necessarily rebounding, but even his first few years where he wasn't shooting the three-pointer, he wasn't rebounding effectively as well. So it may be a case where he's just not a dominant rebounder, but he makes up with it with solid defense and great shot blocking. What would you guys do here? Would you guys give up on Mitchell Robinson, who's on a team option? My concerns with Myles Turner is leg injuries. You guys see it with Kristaps Porzingis. Leg injuries are a killer for just tall people in general, just humans. You're tall, you're 6'11", you're 6'10", you're 7 feet. You have knee or leg injuries. That's not a good combination for, sustainability and, a guy that's going to start to enter his prime. I am concerned about that. He's had turf toe, he's had ankle injuries, and do those things catch up to you? And in 2 years, you're going to have to pay this man. So do you just say, let's just give Mitchell Robinson, who's 23, let's give him a shot with this team and improved roster? I think that's the route that the Knicks are going to go, as the Indiana Pacers are in no rush, as they shouldn't be, because you want to get the maximum value. And I think the Pacers are going to give this roster a shot. And maybe by the deadline, both teams, the Pacers and the Knicks, have more evaluation on their current situation and players, then you pursue a move. So I think that's where it ends here. And thank you guys for watching this video. What do you guys think about Myles Turner? Is he a missing piece? Would you guys risk it even with some of these leg injuries that he's had? Would you guys still give up on Mitchell Robinson with some of these other young players who are playing well in Summer League? Or do you stay the course? Do you just rock out with this team and see what happens? Please let me know in the comments. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, do it all. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.